Thank you everyone for being here. I'm Kathryn Eyring, your health and empowerment coach. And our topic tonight is sleep, which I call an undervalued action to take for your good health. High quality sleep creates a high quality life. It is so important. So without sleep, our brains get foggy, we become crabby and irritable, and that is not going to be an equation for success, right? So in addition, being sleep deprived means you're not making good decisions. Your brain is actually impaired when you don't sleep enough, and you cannot make your best decisions. So a typical American might say that they're sleeping less because they're just trying to get more work accomplished, but the inverse is what is true. So if you slept more, you can actually speed up your work. You can take less breaks and you have more brain power, and your decisions are better and quicker to come. So sleep is affecting your food choices. If you're not sleeping well and you haven't evened out your blood sugar levels, you cannot really make wise decisions about your food. When you're making poor food choices, then you continue to have cravings. And the cravings distract your focus, distract your work time, and you have highs and lows of your blood sugar. And those are silent for the most part. You don't necessarily even feel them happening, but your energy level is going up and down along with those. So you might say things like, oh, I always need a nap or a snack in the afternoon, but that is actually blood sugar fluctuations that is happening, and it can be remedied. So when it's fixed, you're just like a new person. You feel so much better, you're more alive, you're clear-headed, and you're filled with energy all day long consistently. Without quality sleep, your serotonin levels drop. And this is really important because that serotonin is considered a neurotransmitter, but it's also often called a hormone, but it helps to regulate not only your mood, but your social behavior, your learning ability, your cognition, your memory, your cardiovascular function, your sensation of pain. Isn't that interesting? Your appetite, your bowel motility, your bladder control, your sleep, and your sexual desire. So I would imagine with that list, who wouldn't want more serotonin going on, right? So serotonin is found in your central nervous system, blood platelets, and also in your gut, in the GI tract. It's also produced in the skin when it's exposed to sunlight, just like melatonin. Sunlight also stimulates serotonin production through your eyes. Isn't that interesting? But 95% of the serotonin is actually produced in your gut. It's the cells in the gut lining that are releasing most of your serotonin. So you can see how we keep connecting food and sleep together. That if you're not eating healthy foods, you're just not going to be healthy. You're not going to feel good. If you have issues with constipation or gut motility, then you really need to make healing your gut a priority, because this is telling you your gut is not healthy. So you have to get your gut healthy so that you can produce the healthy levels of serotonin and feel better. So again, it's all connected, sleep and food. So serotonin also helps regulate your sleep-wake cycles and the body's clock. Sleep creates the healthy serotonin levels. I want to read off quickly a list I shortened of symptoms when serotonin is too low, because it's interesting how connected to these things serotonin is. seasonal or chronic depression, anxiety, worry, panic attacks, phobias, obsessions, compulsive or impulsive behaviors, low self-esteem, aggression, irritability, hyperactivity, irritable bowel, GI distress, PMS, and hormone dysfunction, weight gain, carbohydrate cravings, fatigue, chronic pain, muscle pain, migraines, poor memory, and cognitive impairment. That's an awful list. So serotonin is a precursor to melatonin. And your pineal gland uses the serotonin to synthesize the melatonin. Now, that's a hormone your brain produces in response to darkness. So it also is helping with your circadian rhythm, your body clock. So being exposed to light at night blocks melatonin production, right? Doesn't that make sense? So it is suggested to dim your lights in the evening. Right now I have an overhead light, but for the most part, you can turn off your overhead lights in the evening and turn on your table lamps instead. So subconsciously, your mind is recognizing that the light is lowering, and without electricity, we would all be stimulated to want to go to sleep because of the darkness, because of the melatonin. So if we keep exposing ourselves to light in the evening, it blocks the melatonin production. So dimming the lights is a great idea. Using table lamps is a good idea, but we've got the blue light of televisions. And I think that's a big struggle for a lot of people. So I'm hoping that I motivate you tonight to really understand what it's doing to your body, so you turn off that television and any screens an hour before you go to bed. So the blue light of the screens is suppressing your melatonin. And again, that melatonin doesn't make you go to sleep. It tells the brain it's time to go to sleep, to get ready for sleep. All right. When does the body naturally get blue light? It's the morning light. The earliest you can get out into the morning light, the better, because that resets your body clock. All right. So melatonin, what else does it do? It functions as an antioxidant. It's anti-inflammatory. It helps to regulate blood pressure and reproductive functions as well. It helps protect the health of your eyes as well. Your gut also produces melatonin, just like the serotonin, and it enhances your immune system. It also relaxes your GI muscles needed for peristalsis. So peristalsis is that muscle wave motion that's taking our food all the way down the chew to poo, the whole digestive tract. Peristalsis is involved in moving everything along. So without having the proper levels of serotonin and melatonin, you can see then how this makes a difference in moving your system along, which is so important because we want to keep those toxins moving out of us. So melatonin is also produced by our skin, and it protects against oxidative stress and ultraviolet radiation induced damage to the skin as well. So we really need serotonin and melatonin, but what do we see today? We often see people taking melatonin supplements, and this is not what we're talking about. So why do I say that sleep is an undervalued action? Because you really have to sometimes do things. You have to take action to be able to sleep well sometimes. So I'm not talking about taking melatonin supplements. This is an unfortunate thing that I often see, and people think that this is normal and this is okay, but there's a lot of negative to doing that on a permanent basis. It's typically only prescribed as a very short-term remedy. And it's typically just because you've had some kind of an experience that has disrupted your sleep, and specifically maybe jet lag. Okay. So there are three problems I typically see with sleep. One is you can't fall asleep. Problem falling asleep. Two, staying asleep. You wake up a few hours later and you have a hard time going back to sleep. And three, there are many people who just can't get their butts in the bed. And that is a big problem. They're just not giving themselves enough time in bed. So often I see that when people fix that schedule and just get themselves in bed regularly, kind of everything falls into place too. So it's worth taking the actions for better sleep. Now, a long-term disruption in your sleep pattern is so serious, it can cause hypertension, cardiovascular disease, weight-related issues, metabolic syndrome, diabetes, colorectal cancer, and autoimmune disease as well. So as always, here we are back to lifestyle diseases and lifestyle changes. Like, we really can take control of these things for our health. So we have habits attached to our sleep. They are so deeply ingrained. And whenever we're trying to change a habit, it can be a serious struggle. We are such creatures of habit. So the first thing you have to do is bring awareness to what are you doing? And am I just delaying this bedtime? I'm doing this to myself. So you first have to be aware of it. And then you have to remember, why is it so important for me to go to bed? When you start connecting, like, I am actually making myself unhealthy just by not going to bed, you might look at it a little bit differently. And I hope that is what I've helped you with today, that I really am motivating you to do anything you can to give yourself the highest quality of sleep. So we want to make a routine. You probably already have a routine. You brush your teeth, you get in your pajamas, you take the dog out one more time, whatever your routine is. But you could do like maybe one more thing, like read 10 pages or 15 minutes or something that is a new routine that you do just before you walk into your room and get into your bed, so that you've really established this is a consistent routine. We all have cell phones. You can use your cell phone. You can set an alarm to go to bed, just like you get up. You can set your alarm to turn off your TV an hour before. You can set your alarm to get up in the morning and get out into that natural light to help reset your body too. And I think I've proven the point enough that sugar, junk foods, this is all contributing to poor sleep. So keep in mind, if you've been falling behind too, that the challenge starts again next week, and we can get you right back into eating better and therefore sleeping better too. So the other thing I want to impress before we go into discussion is the mindset. Again, the mindset of prioritizing sleep. So how do you view it? Because you might catch yourself saying, oh, like, I wish I didn't have to sleep. It's an inconvenience. And I was there at one point. And then I changed my mindset. It is now my luxury. And anyone who knows me now knows how I look at sleep, okay? Because for me, my luxury of sleep, my beauty sleep, my brain sleep, you see, I look at it like it's something I long to do, I enjoy. So I would say I spared no expense on mattresses, pillows, sheets that feel good, inviting, luxurious on the skin. I like heavy blankets so I feel the weight on my body. I make sure I have the light blocking shades, total darkness. There's not even the backlight of a clock, not even that little red off light on the television, nothing, no light at all. I usually even unplug my Wi-Fi at night just in case. That would be disturbing my sleep. My phone is always silenced. It's on a charger in another room. I would never have the phone in my room with me. It's connected to a Bluetooth phone, which we can talk about in discussion too. So I won't miss a call if somebody calls me, but I am not going to have the phone in my room. I've earned my sleep. I look forward to my sleep. My friends know I might leave occasions earlier than them because I want my sleep. So that's what I'm hoping is what I've motivated you with today. If you consider it as an investment in your future and one of your greatest assets, you might start looking at sleep a little bit differently.